Shut up, Smarks. Ring Ross Redux. No, I won't tap out. I won't tap out. All of you bastards suck. Just stop watching Raw. Stop watching Raw. Now part of the Club Kayfabe creative community. All charges against Rich Swann have been dropped, according to various sources. Prosecutors determined that there was insufficient evidence to move forward with the case. Swann was arrested last month in Gainesville, Florida, and was being charged with kidnapping and false imprisonment, which is a third-degree felony in Florida that is punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine if convicted. He was also being charged with battery, which is a first-degree misdemeanor that is punishable with up to 1 year in jail or 12 months of probation and a $1,000 fine, again, if convicted. So congratulations to Rich Swann. Hopefully it's that he didn't do it, more so than there was insufficient evidence that he did. So, and before we go to the Brawl Rumble pre-preview, let's do a quick update on the NXT TakeOver Philadelphia pre-preview. Since Cassius Ohno versus Velveteen Dream has been added to the card, so looking forward to seeing that match as well. Now, on to the Royal Rumble on the WWE Network, representing both Raw and SmackDown brands in the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm not going to take it in the order necessarily that they are here on the Wikipedia page, which is what I'm reading from. I'm just going to take them in whatever order I think would be the most likely they're going to do. Well, not the order I think they're going to be in, but just whatever order seems the most interesting for me to talk about. So we'll start off with the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, which is a 2 out of 3 falls, which sees Jimmy and Jay, the Uso brothers, defending their titles against Running Scared, Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. Running Scared because back in the 80s, Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal starred in a movie called Running Scared, and hashtag not racist. So, if you listen to my show on a regular basis, you'll know that generally speaking, I tend to side on with the champions defending their titles. So that's where I'm going to go for the time being. I'm not saying that the Running Scared won't eventually get a chance at the titles, but it just seems more likely that the Usos are likely to defend for the time being anyway. So, and on that note, I'm done with that match. The Club Kayfabe Creative Community, bringing together creative people from all walks of life and giving them a platform to show off their talents. Podcasters, artists, cosplayers, authors. Check out all the information about Club Kayfabe Creative Community at ckcconline.com. So next up for the Royal Rumble on the WWE Network, we're going to be talking about the Raw Universal Championship match, which sees Brock Lesnar defending his title in a triple threat match against Braun Strowman and Kane. So as Paul Heyman's been talking about for the past couple of weeks, after it's been announced that it's going to be a triple threat match, Brock Lesnar doesn't have to be pinned to lose his title. Braun Strowman can pin Kane, and then Braun Strowman is the champion, or Kane can pin Braun Strowman, and then Kane's the champion. And either way, Brock Lesnar loses his title. So, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Although, as I've been saying, both this week and in previous weeks when I do pre-previews of any events, I do tend to say it's more likely the champion's going to defend. If nothing else, it's just a safer bet, and, I'm more likely to be right. Not that it really makes a lot of difference, I suppose, if I'm right. But, at any rate, that's my prediction, and I hope it's going to be as thug-tastic and puncherific match as I assume it will be. Because Braun Strowman and Kane are quite good brawlers, and they're quite bad brawlers, too. Well, they're good at it, And they're bad. So, they're bad people. They brawl. And anyway. So, my prediction though, Brock Lesnar is going to retain his title. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. Now part of the Club Kayfabe creative community. So next up on the Royal Rumble, we'll be talking about the Women's Royal Rumble match, the historic first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. It's a standard 30-person, in this case, women, Royal Rumble match. The Women's Championship, no more contendership at WrestleMania 34 on the line, I guess, for whichever brand they win for, I guess. Whichever brand they're on, they'll challenge for that particular title, I guess. Makes sense. So we have Asuka and Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Sasha Banks, Nia Jax, Bayley, Naomi, Natalya, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, Mickie James, Tamina Snuka, Lana, Carmella, Becky Lynch, Dana Brooke, Alicia Fox, and 12 more yet to be announced. So, be interesting to see if anybody from the Raw 25th anniversary, any of the ladies they had come out for that show, managed to get in the Royal Rumble. I mean, Trish Stratus tweeted something about a month or so ago, teasing that she'd consider getting into it, and maybe there's a couple of new signees, like Chelsea Green, Zack Ryder's girlfriend, might get a shot as well. There's been rumblings of Ronda Rousey being in the Royal Rumble and winning it, but, well, there's a couple of things wrong with that apparently, at least according to the official story from Ronda herself, according to an interview she did on TMZ. She said she was on her way to Colombia to finish the final scenes of a movie she's currently working on, and she's going to be gone until sometime in February. So it may be a swerve or it may be the truth. I guess we'll find out when we see who number 30 is coming out, and then we'll know for absolute certain whether or not she's in the Rumble or not. I don't think it's really... I mean, she's an extra body, and she's probably strongly... she's definitely strongly favored to win. Whether or not she will is another matter altogether, but, well, I'm sure they have more women on the roster, and from NXT as well, who can fill those 12 slots. Number of women they can add from NXT or from the Mae Young Classic, since they just got Candice LeRae signed from her time in the Mae Young Classic. So a little bit surprising it took so long to sign her. I guess it wasn't anything from her side of things. It must have been something from WWE's side that said, we can't really do it just yet. Okay, now we can sign you. It's like, okay, so when do I come by? It's like, oh, no, see you in about a month. Oh, okay then. I'll just be over here waiting. So I don't think it's not very often that a surprise entrant that isn't announced wins, is it? I don't think. Well, John Cena, for the men's Royal Rumble, John Cena wasn't announced for the Royal Rumble he won when he came back from injury. But, other than that, generally speaking, it's an announced entrant in the Royal Rumble who ends up winning it. So, I think we'll, disregard the possibility that, Kia Stevens, aka Awesome Kong, might be coming in to, help promote the upcoming season of Glow on Netflix. We'll possibly forego the conclusion that, anybody I don't know, can't really forego too many conclusions, but I mean, she does have that to plug, and she is a former professional wrestler, still wrestling, I'm guessing, in some capacity somewhere. But I don't think any unannounced competitors are going to end up winning. They might be in the last four that are in the Rumble, but I don't think any of them are going to actually win it. So my prediction is a lady who, even if she were to be eliminated from the Royal Rumble, I'm guessing WWE will still find a way to call her undefeated, because she's just she's undefeated in singles matches. She's defeated in Royal Rumbles because that's the first one, and someone, 29 other women had to be eliminated in order for someone to win, and we wanted this person to win. So that's my prediction done. I'm going to go with my secret girlfriend, former NXT Women's Champion, and so far undefeated in her entire WWE career, including NXT. I don't know if you want to count her shoulder injury as a defeat, but anyway, I guess WWE doesn't.
Pure electricity in my pants.
Oh my.
Ooh, Sprickens is sexy.
Coming through. Sorry. Oh, that stings. I beg your pardon. Oh!
You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. Now part of the Club Kayfabe creative community. So, back to the Royal Rumble on the WWE Network. Next match we'll be talking about is the Raw Tag Team Championships, which is just a regular tag team match, no stipulation other than it's a tag team match. So that we'll see champions American Omega, Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan, taking on the Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus. And as you can tell just from listening to this show alone, this particular episode, I am siding with the champions and saying they're going to defend. Not to say that American Omega aren't officially going to have their shot at the titles, I'm sure, or carrying the titles, I should say, which means, of course, they're going to have to win them. So, yeah, it's just, not that I don't see it, it's just, I think it's just playing safe to, there's not very often will go out on a limb and say, this person's definitely going to win the title. So it just seems like a safer bet to say, successful title defense, at least for the time being. So, meanwhile, the team itself may not be together too much longer. Who knows? But, it's like Jason Jordan seems to keep stepping all over Seth Rollins when it comes to making tag team decisions. So, it's be interesting to see how much longer they last, or, who's going to turn on who. I imagine it will be Jason Jordan, because he does seem to be taking that slight roundabout trip to the Snidely Whiplash side of things. He's pretending he's got a mustache already. Hasn't actually grown. He just pretends he's twirling it. No, not really. I just find it amusing to think that someone is pretending they have a Snidely Whiplash mustache and wringing his hands and cackling in the background, while people are saying, "What is he doing? There's no one there. What's he laughing at? What's so funny?" And then just out of the blue, he'll walk past a group of people. They'll turn to look at him and he'll say nothing, and then scamper off, because it's not like he's totally not guilty or anything. So I hope that they, for the sake of their team, I hope they get stuff straightened out. Because, I think Seth Rollins is looking to Jason Jordan as hoping to be his left-hand man.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.
Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni, and subscribe to Jabronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni. Presents Macho Facts. Randy Savage doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. And the Macho Man once elbow dropped someone so hard that his elbow broke the speed of light, went back in time and killed Amelia Earhart while she was flying over the Pacific Ocean. Ring Rust has a new home. Enjoy your choice of adult beverage while I slam Wrestling News Radio on its back. Streaming every Friday night at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 12ouncesportsradio.com. That's 12OZsportsradio.com.
Watch your money.
This is Fabo Mark Jabroni. You are listening to Ring Rust, now part of the Club Kayfabe Creative Community. So, back to the Royal Rumble on the WWE Network from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Born and raised in the playground is... I made that joke last week. Anyway, I never said I only had good jokes. Or one-time only jokes. So, next match will be the 2-on-1 match for the WWE Championship over on SmackDown. We'll see AJ Styles defend his title against the Un-Canadians, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Because you see, they're not acting very Canadian. Like the Un-Americans weren't American, but, you know, not because they weren't acting American, because they literally weren't Americans. But the Un-Canadians are Canadian, but they aren't acting very Canadian. They're not acting very polite. Except, well, Sami Zayn is acting really polite to Becky Lynch, I suppose, during the Mixed Match Challenge. It was rather fun, too. It looks like everybody's having fun doing it, which is something that I really enjoy seeing, when everybody's having a good time doing it. And referees aren't giving away the ending of the match during match. It's like, oh, no, she's going over. Okay, then, yeah, alright then. What, you mean Carmella wasn't supposed to beat Asuka? Really? That's mind-blowing to me. So, even with the 2-on-1 advantage, I still think there's a strong possibility AJ Styles will end up defending. I don't know how. Like, it may end up may end in disqualification, or like one of the, like, Shane McMahon and or Daniel Bryan will probably get involved in some way, and I don't know if they'll be at ringside, or they'll decide somewhere between now and then that they're going to be at ringside. And then they'll get in each other's faces, and one of them will throw a punch at the other and hit AJ Styles, or hit Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn or whatever, and then they get, you know, knocked out. The referee sees and it's like, what are you doing? He's got to call the match because outside of interference. So I don't know. You never know how they're going to play it out. I do though expect AJ Styles is going to win, although I would love to see the Un-Canadians as co-WWE Heavyweight Champions. I can only imagine. Not since Lay Cool has something like that happened. And then they end up just sort of cutting the belt in half and with the jagged lines and, no, only one of you can be a champion. Oh, okay then. I guess it'll be the me who won the belt. Push! Oh, was that under the train you went? Okay then. Sorry, not sorry. So I do still anticipate AJ Styles to win, although I would love to see, like I said, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I don't know how they're going to manage it. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to, like, one of them buys a replica, or they just literally share the belt, like halfway down the ring Kevin Owens will carry it, then he'll hand it over to Sami Zayn, and then, while one is talking, they got the belt, and then they hand over the microphone and the belt to the other one, so they can do more talking. And, oh my god. And Sami Zayn, they make a big show of Kevin Owens handing Sami Zayn the belt, putting it up on his shoulder, getting all comfortable and everything, put the microphone up to his face and saying, yep, and then hands it back to Kevin Owens. That's because that's them entertaining themselves. They're there to entertain themselves as well as to entertain the fans. And I find that, as one of the fans who likes stuff like that, when I see people having fun, I do enjoy seeing people having a good time making other people hate them. Because that's what a good Tar Heel does. A good Snidely Whiplash. I mean, Sami Zayn just needs to wax part of his mustache so that he can twirl it. And I don't think Kevin Owens' mustache part of his beard is long enough to twirl it, but he can try, I guess. Anyway, that'll be humorous to see as well. But anyway, either way, I think officially that's going to be my prediction. AJ Styles is going to defend, but what a show if he doesn't. So at any rate, I think that match, one way or the other, is going to be just simply phenomenal.
Meet my friendly knuckle. I forgot my wings.
Brunt.
as dumb as I am.
Excellent. Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/RayRust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni. And subscribe to Jarbronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni.
Now part of the Club Kayfabe creative community. Anyway, so I was about to finish the Royal Rumble with the men's Royal Rumble match, of course, in the main event, most likely. Now so far, John Cena, Finn Balor, Randy Orton, Elias, Shinsuke Nakamura, Baron Corbin, Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, Aiden English, Rusev, Titus O'Neil, Apollo Crews, Kofi Kingston, Big E Langston, Xavier Woods, Ty Dillinger, the aforementioned from one of those songs, The Miz, Intercontinental Champion, and 13 more yet to be announced. So who's going to be a surprise, I wonder? Once again, well, the only surprise entrant I think who's ever won was John Cena, and he's not a surprise entrant because there he is. I do have what may or may not be considered a bold prediction, depending on whether or not you're a fan of the guy. I don't know but if it's bold necessarily, it's just potentially really annoying. Because he's more than potentially really annoying. So, and just won back the Intercontinental Championship, which in and of itself, usually in the past has meant you basically have a number one contendership for the WWE title anyway, but I think it could be the Miz's year to go ahead and win the Royal Rumble. And I don't know how many other people around the wrestling world would be predicting that the Miz will end up winning the Royal Rumble, or coming close anyway. I'm sure at the very least he'll be in the top 4, but he's my pick to win it because I think he's
awesome!
That's it for another show, kiddies. Check me out on Facebook, where you can keep track of all the news that's right on the mark, from around ringside to the latest concerts. See you at the shows. Later days.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.